People have always communicated with each other. We are an ever-changing society and we want to make communication as easy and as readily available as possible. Smartphones, tablets and computers help us to be much more connected than before. Technology evolves at an unseen pace, and that's why we asked ourselves today how communication will change in the next 20 years. To answer this question, I came here to talk with my partner Gleb.
So I think to answer how technology will evolve, we first have to look how technology was, how it used to be. And the first major way of communication in our modern times was the telegraph machine. And we clearly see that it was actually a luxury item. No one really had it in their households, and especially poor people still had to rely on mail. And when the telephone came around, at first it seemed like this as well. But as time progressed, the telephone became much more widespread, and so actually pretty much everyone in the 20s already had a phone. And that also was a time when it changed from actually women who changed the connections with each other so you could communicate with the other person to it automated. So you see this clear path of automation that spreads to the past. So I think this automation will also be seen in our future, to be honest.
Yeah, a major step in the future development will be probably a longer battery life. Scientists are actually already experimenting with batteries that only need to be charged for a month or so. But to be honest, I don't think that smartphones will stand the test of time. Who knows, maybe there will be a chip you could implant in your brain to communicate with each other.
Yeah, I think this is kind of a bit too far-fetched, but I think something that's very possible is augmented reality glasses. So it's actually proven that Apple actually experiments with those. So it isn't really unlikely that those will be readily available for us. And the concept of those is you wear actual glasses, and you augmented reality is this concept that you there's the screen in front of you, and it shows you things that aren't really there. For example, you turn on your Google Maps or something, and then you will just look at the street, and there will be an arrow to turn right. And it's not real, of course. It's part of Google Maps, and it shows you in your real life inanimate objects, and just ways you could just helps you, And I think this is very, very possible that this becomes the next thing after the smartphone. Because I personally also don't agree that smartphones will be part of our lives forever. I think there will be something after the smartphone, and I think it's likely that it is the augmented reality glasses. But maybe in the future, maybe your idea with the chip you could implant in your brain will be actually reality, and not something that's straight from a science fiction movie.
Do you think cyberbullying and blackmailing will remain as prominent as now? I think there won't be any major changes in that regard, since the only thing that changes is the method of communication and not the way we interact with each other.
Yeah, I would agree with this statement of yours. I think the thing that could improve is some sort of filter system that is implemented in major online networking sites like Twitter or Facebook or something. And I think you would need an AI for this, because I don't think a simple algorithm could solve this problem, because there's stuff like irony and things like this. And I think a simple algorithm couldn't really understand if it's irony or not. So I think artificial intelligence is needed for this. So I think this is the only way cyberbullying could be held down. because also, like you said, I don't think it sends to the way we communicate to each other. I think it just has to do like with the way we interact with each other. Like there's bullying in the real world, not only cyberbullying. So that's, I think, a pretty clear sign that that bullying doesn't really have to do anything with the method of communication, but just like how we talk to each other. And additionally, what I want to say is that nowadays we actually can pretty well live without a phone. But I think in like 20 years or so, when we have like, for example, augmented reality glasses, I think it will be really hard to live without this, just because everything depends on this. You can already see it. It's now like with the COVID apps all around. Like society kind of depends on people installing them on their phones. So like when someone doesn't have a phone, they can't talk to they can't send this information from one to another. And I think as time progresses, this becomes more and more of a problem. So yeah, I think this will be like a thing that we couldn't live without modern ways of communication.
That's very possible, but I'm actually kind of afraid of this. To sum everything up, we think that technology of communication will evolve as quickly as it is now, or maybe even quicker.